Board games is what I'm talking about. Board games, and you, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And today I'm going to say it's a friendly Friday forum because it is Friday. And after I've done this singing, I am going to do some choosing for who won my recent competition to win one of my games or cat's drawings. I know this is a terrible rhyme and this song is totally out of line, so I'll stop and start talking about board games. Board games is what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, God, whatever it is, wherever you are. This is episode 352 of Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. Today it is going to be a short episode, by which I mean probably about half an hour, might be a wee bit less, might be a wee bit more. Today we are catching up. I'm going to, if you've got any things that you want to share, any recent highlights, today is the perfect day to do it. And of course, I am going to be choosing a winner for my recent Twitter competition, which I'll have to find in the... So I wanted to do it live so that you can see, Bez is actually choosing this randomly. I don't think anyone would think that I wasn't doing it fairly, but anyway. So I think we have about... What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the names into a glass, write them on a bit of paper, literally put them into the glass, shake this glass, and then take out one of the names, and then the rest of them will sadly go into a bin. That is what I am going to be doing in just a moment. And hello, Mike de Grief, it is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining. As always, bonjour to yourself. And Timmy, I hope that you're generally well. Is the wow about the fact that I'm being quite quick today, or about something else? Out of context, but I'm glad to provoke some amazement. I hope it's all positive. I hope you're generally feeling good. Before I get to the prize drawing, I am going to, as usual, talk about recent highlights. I'll have 1 minute for questionably quick questions, so get them into your head now, and then a brilliant thing. So, recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. What is a recent highlight of you? Myself, I made Horeshte Game yesterday, and if you're wondering what on earth is Horeshte Game, let me go to my own Twitter and actually let me show you some images. Let me take you on a journey of buying some things, and Timmy says wow a lot, and that's so cool. I will not think any more on it. So this is Horeshte Game. These are the ingredients. It's all about the onions. It's all about the meat. It's all about the lapé, which is split peas, and it's all in a very tomato-based sauce. You've got your dried limes on the left. You only want to use maybe 6 of them. You've got a couple of spoons of mixed spice, a spoon of turmeric, a wee pinch of pepper. This is how you slice the onions. You do it in this direction so the onions are a wee bit straighter, not in the other direction. And then fry the onions for 40 minutes. Those are the onions there. Cook the meat, fry it on a high heat, and then turn it down to a medium heat, and then add everything else and leave it maybe simmering for half an hour, and then you just leave it in the pot with the dried limes and everything else for maybe an hour and a half, and then in the end you serve it with potato sticks on the top, rice, and a lovely salad. And that was the meal last night. That was definitely a highlight on my part. And so, yeah, that was definitely a highlight. The other thing that I want to say is I did, while the end bit of it simmering, I played 2.5 games of Dinosaur Love Spicy Pies, and then the food was ready, so we stopped it. But we played the simplest iteration. Rita and I have been talking about making this into a sort of campaign game. So there's going to be a series of different cards, and then it'll have the same system of this is how you roll the dice, this is how you choose the dice, this is how you put things into your pie. Those rules are always the same, but then the scoring, the exact cards in your hands, that is going to evolve, and maybe we'll have some other ideas, I don't know. But yeah, even in the simplest version, and I took a picture of this because this was a crazy roll. All the fives, couple of ones, couple of twos, but all the fives. Yeah, that's a crazy roll. Anyway, that's an extreme roll. Anyway, that's showing you the things. And that is my recent highlights. Let me know what are your recent highlights. Timmy says it snowed here tonight, but that's a low light. Lots of love. I hope that you get some warmth soon. I hope that I hope that you get something cozy. I hope you've at least got some cozy clothes, maybe a nice jumper, maybe a nice fleece. And yeah, definitely lots of love to you, Timmy. And if anyone else wants to chuck in some of their recent highlights, then feel free to do it, because today is Friendly Friday Forum, and it is very much all about you. Now, let's move on to the questionably quick questions. The first question I'm going to ask myself is, where am I? What time is it? It is 10:07, and I am in Glasgow. It is a blue sky. The second question I'm going to ask myself, which I am actually going to find out right now, is what time is my train? Because today I am heading back down south to my normal abode. And so what time is my train? What time do I have to catch this train? I know it's approximately 1, something like that, but I feel like I should find out. I feel it's after 1. Oh, I've got a new email from, I'm not going to say names. Oh, actually, you know what? Speaking of names that I'm not allowed to say, I got a email from someone that I'm not going to mention, offering me work that hopefully will come to pass. So fingers crossed, and it seems like fun work. So I'm really excited about that. And is it warm in Scotland? It's probably warmer in Scotland than in Nova Scotia. I mean, it's pretty sunny. There's definitely no snow here. Who is throwing it? That doesn't that doesn't even deserve. Oh, I say it doesn't deserve points, but go on. I'll give you 10 points. 10 points for Dutch Yoda. And hello to you. Let me train line. Okay, so my tickets are on 23rd of April. That is helpful to have a confirmation of, and it is. Wait a minute. This ticket only has a. Is it in the PDF? Can't preview the file. That's not great. Let me. Maybe I'll try to download it. I really feel like I should know what time is my train, so I'm going to. I've got a deletable folder. Let's just put it randomly onto the desktop and open it. And I will find out that my train is hopefully at 1. Oh, great. It's at 2:34. Brilliant, because I was a bit concerned. I would say that I've not finished packing, but technically nothing is in my suitcase yet. But I want you to know that I have cleared the table. I have, put things into piles and said, okay, these are a couple of things I brought from my place, but I'm going to leave up in my parents' house, and These are the things I'm going to take down. One thing, and so yeah, 234, brilliant. Anyway, and says the internet says it's going to 17 degrees in Scotland. That might be correct. It is warm enough that some Scots are wearing t-shirts outside. I would not wear a t-shirt outside personally. I would wear a jumper and a jacket, but that's just the way I am. Talking about things that I'm going to be taking with me to London, I'm thinking that I am going to take the first 3 books, because even though we never got to Citadel of Doom, or Citadel of Chaos, I should say, or Forest of Doom, it feels worth taking them, and yeah, I'm going to take them. I was going to ask you. Dutch Yoda says, anything 15... Hey, what are we saying, Dutch Yoda? Where's the... Man, my fingers are terrible. I'm going to have to... So, don't say Dutch Yoda, say Netherlander Yoda. So yeah, Netherlander Yoda says, anything 15 plus is t-shirts weather for me. That is definitely not the case for me. For me, I mean, at what point do you wear a t-shirt? For me, I think maybe in the 20s, in the mid-20s, but it really depends on... It partially depends on how I'm feeling that day, partially depends on... But this is one of the reasons why I'm planning to move to Thailand. You know what I mean? Anyway, if anyone has any other questionably quick questions, then please get them in as soon as you can. Let's move on to the brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I am going to say... Oh, and let's talk about Thailand, yeah. Timmy says Timmy would move to Thailand. Let's talk about why Thailand is a brilliant place then. That seems like a good proposition. I think that Thailand is a brilliant place because the cost of living is low. I love the food. It's spicy. You know, it can be spicy, but it's not too spicy. There's a lot of lovely stuff there. I love the warmth. I like living in a place that's kind of a tourist industry. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's a bit of laziness of the Anglo-centric, okay, I want to speak my own language, but it's largely the warmth. Yeah, those are some brilliant things about Thailand. And yeah, I think it's not great that the language isn't gendered. Like, I don't think it's great that you've got to choose, am I saying Sawadee Ka or Sawadee Crap? But at the same time, it's nice that you're able to express your gender by the way you speak, like you say Sawadee Ka, and then people know how you identify. At the same time, there's nothing there for non-binary people. So, and there's definitely a case of, in Thailand, yeah, I've heard mixed things about how trans folk are treated, but yeah. Dutch Yoda says 20 degrees or more means I might lose the t-shirt if it would be decent. Fair enough. That's definitely not. I would happily wear a t-shirt in 30 degrees, 35. Yeah. I think, 30 is maybe where I'm like, yeah, if I'm able to just take off the t-shirt, I will do that. I get cold. Timmy says, I would build a great citadel on an island in Thailand. A citadel of chaos, maybe? Maybe a fortress of solitude? I mean, are you wanting to be on your own? Is that what you're telling me? That you don't want... But yeah, let's just say that Thailand is the brilliant thing. And now, of course, feel free to comment, ask questions, thumb, like, follow. This is, as I mentioned earlier, going to be a faster show than usual, and by which I mean about 30 minutes. So we're already halfway through. I'm going to, if anyone wants to jump in, you are still very welcome to do so. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, feel free to follow the link. And as long as I've got some vague idea of who you are, as long as I've got that basic trust with you, you know, everyone who's been part of the chat, Dutch Yoda, Mike, Timmy, like if you want to jump in, feel free to jump in. If you don't, that's totally okay. You can also just chat from wherever you are. So feel free to comment, ask questions, fun like follow. This is a Friendly Friday forum, and apparently there's a bit more singing, and we'll have a wee bit more poetry. Let me read out the regular poem. So, as always on a Friday, it's also about you. I really am quite interested in all the things you do. How are you? I hope you're well. If not, please know you can share and tell. How was your week? Any highlights, lessons learned, gaming delights? What are you looking forward to? What are the things you're trying to do? We probably won't get into a deep discussion, but we'll definitely have some silly action. If you're cool, you can totally join me on camera, even if just briefly. Jump in, jump out, but please don't shout, and mute yourself if you're making much noise when you're not chatting. Respectful questions and comments are a go. Feel free to be silly for the entire show. And now I'm going to pick a winner, pick a winner. Tonight I'm going to not be here for dinner. Okay. And Timmy says that citadel would be the Citadel of Chaos and constructed from aircrete, which is concrete with air bubbles on it. I've never heard of concrete with air bubbles, but this is interesting. Light and fireproof, and also a thermal insulator. That sounds fantastic. Is this a modern invention? Concrete with air bubbles? I've never heard of such a thing. So let me do. This is a glass. I am going to pop things into the glass. Maybe I should put the glass on some sort of box so you can see the glass better. I feel just a moment. Here are some game boxes. I was pondering for ages whether to take Fruit Spy back down with me. It's one that I brought up and I'm probably not going to keep, is the truth, but it feels like it'll be easier to find someone to pass it on to there rather than just keeping it here where it probably won't get played ever again. Anyway, this is a glass. This is where I'm popping stuff into. And apparently aircrete has been around for a while, but it's getting popular with DIY builders. There you go. So where is my thing? Okay. Okay. So let me actually look through, and this was publicly done, so I think I'm allowed. If anyone wants to have a very last minute entry to this competition, go and tweet. The competition officially closes whenever I finish writing down the names to pick the winner. Okay, so we've got Terry O'Neill, who says, as their joke, let me actually make myself a wee bit bigger. Terry O'Neill, as their joke, says, I went to the zoo today and all it had was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. That was, okay, that's not a good pen. I think I might actually need to grab this. Sorry about my disorganization. This is what happens when you let me do a show. Things aren't organized as much as would be ideal. But Terry O'Neill. Terry. Oh, I'm going to actually, maybe I should have. So that is Terry's name. It is written down, as you can see. And do it into quarters, and then do it into eighths, and maybe I'll even do it into sixteenths, because that's the way I'm feeling today. And that's the first name. Next joke. David Murcott suggested that Russ should join me. Yeah, I agreed. Russ would definitely make a good guest. So that's David M's name. And I think David also had a joke somewhere. But that's quarters. Picking a winner, picking a winner. Picking a winner who will win a game. Or maybe a drawing, and maybe a drawing. And that is their name. And so, Maya, what's the difference between a child and a cat? Cats eats their food and plays with their toys, while the kid eats their toys and plays with their food. Yep, good joke. So that is Maya's entry. It's a joke, it's a joke, it's a joke, in some manner of speaking. So the joke is funny because it's drawing a parallel between one and the other, and it's a bit of wordplay. Eric gives me both a joke and a suggestion for an interviewee. And Eric says, why did Shakespeare only write in ink? Because pencils confused him. To be or not to be. And I have heard many jokes with to be or not to be, but that's the first time that I've heard it presented that way, and I like that. Good work, Eric. We've got this one that I'd heard before. What do you call a magic dog? Labracadabrador. Labracadabrador. So that is 16th. And I am writing Adam Punch Board. Okay, so that is Adam's name into the hat. Eris. Eris Alar, lovely person who sets up the board game artists. Arts and graphic design for board games is what the group's called. And I was part of the moderation team. Eris is just such a lovely person. I've had them on the show before. And Eris makes a suggestion. Fellow Australian Ehron Lime. But that is Eris. And thank you for that suggestion. I've popped Eris's name in the glass as well. And then David Murcott does not get a second entry for this, but I very much appreciate David going above and beyond, not only giving me an interviewee suggestion, but also a joke. How do you tell the difference between a weasel and a stoat? A weasel is weaselly recognized, and a stoat is totally different. The other joke, so yeah, David's just going massively above and beyond. Why did the scarecrow get his certificate? Because he was outstanding in his field. Now we've got Roberto7, and this is one that I just do not understand. So if someone can explain this joke to me, then please do so. I've got an Eton-themed advent calendar where all the doors are opened for me by my dad's contacts. I mean, it's a surreal image, but I'm not sure where the joke is. Regardless, I'm qualifying it as a joke, so your name gets put in, Roberto. Yeah, this is one that I really don't understand. I mean, does anyone else understand that joke? Let me make the screen a wee bit bigger. I've got an Eton-themed advent calendar where all the doors are opened for me by my dad's certificates. I don't understand. I don't understand. I really. Yep, I'm going to type it into the comments, copy paste it. Got an Eton themed advent calendar where all the doors are opened for me by my dad's. Anyway, this is Roberto's thing. That's quarters, that's eighths, that's 16. Please, if anyone understands this joke, yeah, if no one explains it to me, I'll probably have to look it up after this stream ends. But yeah, let's carry on. Bones John, I like this one. How do American bees have a connection with PCs? Because they are known as USBs. Bones John. So, Bones John also gets a name in the glass. Bones John. Half, quarter, eighth, and 16ths. I'm putting them into tiny, tiny 16ths just so that there's space for all of these things to move around. What's the next one? Last games nights on Earth. Yeah, this is a great podcast. I've been on the show. I'm a wee bit biased. But yeah, James Oxley. I also stayed at their place once to demonstrate some games. I can't remember where they live. It's somewhere in the middle of England. But yeah, lovely person. 2 blue bottles went fly fishing. Yeah, that's and last game's night on Earth. And Dutch Yoda has some sort of explanation. Maybe Eton College is an elite boarding school. His father. Okay, open some doors. Okay, as in nepotism. Okay, I get it. Okay, yes, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so it's a joke about nepotism. The doors are opened for me. Okay, figuratively, the doors are opened for me, like the opportunities I granted. Thank you for explaining that, Yoda. I do really appreciate that. Okay, the next one. Rolando says, big congrats. I don't know about who to interview, but if you have 10 apples in one hand and 10 oranges in another, what do you have? You have big hands. So, yep, I appreciate it. So there we go, Rolando. And yep, thank you very much, Dutch Yoda, for being the joke translator and for watching along. Ian Parovel from Board Game Arena said, congratulations, but that is not actually an entry, but I do very much appreciate the congratulations. Quarter, eighth, and 16th. And then, finally, GM Radio X suggested Noel Fielding and as a guest. Now, Noel Fielding, I don't know if Noel Fielding is a board gamer, but it would certainly be, I could imagine, a lots of fun times. Yeah, like Surreal Show, I said, as we maybe throw game pieces at each other. And that reminds me that I probably should reach out to some people that I've not reached out to. And morning, Alex. I am just drawing the winner. I'm just about to finish up. This is literally the last thing. I've noticed I've got 2 notifications. I've been reading out the jokes that people put in and interviewees that people suggested for my competition. And let me double check my notifications. Oh, we've got one last minute. We did have one last minute competition. So, yeah. Ghost Miro. I don't know who this is, but this means that I've got to rip up some more paper. So Ghost Miro says, a turtle is crossing the road when he's mugged by 2 snails. What? When the police show up, they ask him, what's happened? The shaken turtle replies, I don't know. It's all happened so fast. That's a quality joke. And so, yeah, that person is going to get a new joke, and the competition officially closes when I finish writing this down. So, Ghost Miro, and this is the last name, unless I get a new notification while I'm putting this in. Okay, I am popping the last bit of paper into the glass and shake it a bit, and maybe a little later I will send them a game that's a hit. I mean, yeah, I guess I can call Yogi a hit. I guess LDEC is kind of more of a cult thing. I definitely wouldn't call it anything self-published a hit yet. But these are all the names. You've seen me. This cannot be falsified. So this is why I'm doing this live on stream. I am choosing all these. This is quite a nice noise. Okay, so we get one of these. I'm going to throw them one by one into the bin. So it will not be this person. It will not be. Actually, I should pop that into the recycling I just thought. Yeah. It will not be this person. It will not be this person or any of these people. It will be the last person in the glass. It will be this person. I don't know who this is. This is the last remaining name. This is the last remaining name. The winner, I will get in contact with them later today. Rolando. Rolando. Congratulations on Rolando. And let me actually look at what was Rolando's joke again. I honestly can't remember. What's Rolando's? No, that Rolando. The Rolando's joke here was: if you have 10 apples in one hand and 10 oranges in another, what do you have? Big hands. And this is nothing to do with the quality of the joke. I'm not saying this is the best joke, but it's a quality joke. I like the joke. And so, Rolando, thank you for your joke. Thank you for entering. Thank you to everyone else who's been entering. Thank you for all the congratulations. Thank you to everyone who follows me on Twitter and also people here. But Rolando, I am going to get in touch with Rolando in just about once I finish this show. So, congratulations to that person. And Alex says, good joke. Yep, it's one of the classics. I might tell it to my family today before I leave. Stretching time, jiggle and wriggle for stretching time. And that is going to be it for the show. I feel like this is a setup to a it feels like that feels like a personal question. I feel like that's just because I know you. If I didn't know you, I would be like, no, I'm not answering that. I'm assuming it's a setup to a terrible joke, so I'm just going to say with my right hand. And Mike says, congratulations for Rolando. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's, oh my gosh. Alex, give Dutch Yoda 50 points. Oh. Fan. And Alex has another joke. I took the shell off my racing snail to make it faster, but if anything, it was even more sluggish. Good joke. Yoda, give Alex 50 points. Yoda, can you give Alex 50 points? Double check. Hopefully you can. But And Mike says, which game has Rolando won? Yep, Rolando's got the opportunity to get any of my published games that any published game with my name on the cover. I think basically self-published Yogi Guru or what's Dyson Inc. Yeah, one of those, or potentially some cat drawings. But anyway, congratulations once more to Rolando. That is the joke. That was the winning joke, and that brings me to the end of the show, which seems really weird. But I did say that one day it would happen when I was playtesting on Tuesdays potentially, and one day it'll happen when I'm at a convention. Maybe I'll be streaming, maybe I won't. And that's something that I wanted to actually chat about. Go to my stuffbybez.com/Discord, because I am curious, if you're watching this, why do you like it? If on the days that you don't watch, why do you not watch? Is it just because there's so much of it and you don't want to watch every day? Or is it because there's particular topics that you engage with more? Do you think that there's more things that I should be doing or more things that I should stop doing? I mean, I'm thinking of, changing up Sundays, maybe not this season, but certainly next season. And I think last week it was also a mixture of having some trouble with some, trying to find guests for some shows and people pulling out, and that was a bit annoying and sad. But I don't really care about big numbers, but I hope that people here are having a good time. I would like to be a better public speaker. If that's a skill that I actually care about. If there's something that I could do with the lighting, with the editing, then so be it. I'm not going to get into that rabbit hole. But if there's something that I could do with the content, with the public speaking, then please let me know. Because those are things that I'm interested in checking out. And so wrap up. What's happened today? Today I've talked about the weather, talked about where I am. We caught up with people. We talked about games. We talked about dinosaurs love spicy pies and Nova Scotia being cold. And then I just chatted along, got all these names, and then Rolando won the competition, as you all saw. I'm going to be finishing up. I'm going to be heading off, but that's a wee moment. If you like this show, then please check me out. Stuff by Bez, basically everywhere. Twitter.com/StuffBez, Instagram.com/StuffBez. On Facebook, then search for Stuff by Bez. I am streaming every day for the next 48 days at 10 a.m. UK time. YouTube is better for the older episodes. And please join my Discord, where I try to be positive. And thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being back, even though, there's good everywhere, and there's definitely bits that I'm going to miss about being here. But I want to say thank you to everyone. Once more, thank you to everyone who entered the competition, even those people whose names weren't picked. So all these people, thank you very much for submitting their jokes, for suggesting people to interview, and at least one of them has gotten back in touch. And thank you everyone who's watching. Thank you, Mike Degree, for being lovely and jumping in with that bonjour. It's lovely to see you, of course. Alex, Yoda, for being part of my life. I very much appreciate you. And also to the other people. I see that there's a whole bunch of people who are maybe watching, but don't necessarily chat, and that's okay. You know what? It's nice to know that I've been part of your life, and I guess if you're watching, that suggests that you're getting some value from this. So thank you to the lurkers, because that gives me some vague validation, and thank you very much to those people who jump in and are a part of my life. And yeah, lots of love to you too. And Mike and Yoda and everyone else. But yeah, just thank you, everyone. I want to say, yeah, if there's anything you want to share, something you're looking forward to, hopes and ambitions, you can share anything, whether it's exciting, trivial, important, or just fun, as I can see from the banner that's there. So it's over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. What are you up to after this episode? I am going to be raiding. I am going to be finishing off my packing, by which I mean actually putting everything into the suitcase, which I've not started doing yet. And then I'm going to be having a late, let's call it a brunch. One of my parents might have made, something involving baked potato and tomato chopped up and tuna, and we're going to go out into the garden and eat it. I'm very excited. One last, a goodbye meal, so that will be nice. And then at the end, in a couple of hours, I'm going to be heading off on a train and going back down to London, and think I might get the taxi for COVID reasons on the other side. I am actually going to pack my keyboard, I've decided, because I do really enjoy playing the keyboard. I was playing it for maybe 2 hours last night. I was like, man, wow, I really enjoyed this. And then doing the layering of the different things, which is, yeah, it was actually just before I performed the song that I got back into trying different instruments. And then you can layer, you can choose, I don't know how many instruments it's got enough. But then you can layer 2 instruments. So when you press a note, it plays both of the instruments at once. So that's quite cool. Anyway, if you want to know what my future streams are, then look there. But yeah, what are you up to? So Alex says, I'm going to definitely. So I'm holding make a new version of a game I've been putting off for months. Definitely, maybe. Do you want me to chase you up on this? Does the game have a name? Does the game have a theme? Does it have anything that you can share to make it more real? Mike says, I will be exercising my English today, and when it's better, I will join your show one day if you want me. I would love to have you on. And Alex says, oh, yay, keyboard. I'm glad that you're excited. I was actually, I was singing the Jackpot song to myself, and I was thinking, yeah, I might do a standalone video for that, but I'll kind of extend it a wee bit. Oh, you know what? Before I head off, I have a bit of Bez history up here that let's see, can I oh wait. Yep. This is something from more than 2 decades ago. This was made in the last millennium. And yeah, this has, I think this is actually some coloring that I did in the last millennium as well. This is, oh, these two are, yeah. My selling feature was that it's only 10 pence. And yeah, it was interesting reading through it. It's basically all about video games. And yeah, I don't want to actually release this because there's lots of things that I don't identify with and a lot in there that I don't associate with. But yeah, DuckTales for Game Boy. Unless you're a big DuckTales fan or you hate Mario for some unfathomable reason, get one of Miyamoto-san's classics first. I wouldn't nowadays use the Japanese honorific when speaking in English, but yeah, I agree with that. But anyway, the bit that I thought of this is on the last page, which is page 9, it says, over to you. It's not over to you, what are you up to, but it's more like, hey, telling me what you think. And I was thinking, you know what, that desire for validation. Anyway, I really need to skedaddle. Lots of love. It's been lovely. Alex says regarding the game, Expedition Temple Bird Towel. I do not know this one. But no, I'm going to chase you up about it tomorrow or whenever I next see you. I've had some exciting new ideas to really shake it up, but I just can't seem to start on it. Oh, do you want to, get together sometime when I've been down south for like a week or something? We can, like I meant to kind of do some sort of mentorship. I've been thinking about this because let's sort out some time that works for you, and if it helps, we can brainstorm some ideas. Or I can just shout at you and tell you to do things. Like says, that's almost 1 pence per page. And good, it's a plan. Hello, Matthew. It is lovely to see you. Today is going to be a very short show. I have just been thanking everyone, and it is over to you. What are you up to? And although I did kind of show this very old comic, yeah. So sorry, Matthew, you caught me just at the end of yeah. If you are interested in future streams, tomorrow is going to be a full-length one. I am with Yoda. We are going to be chatting about Kickstarters and how Yoda can get the game ready for Kickstarter. I mean, I've had some successful Kickstarters, but I've not had massive success. But, I think that for the print and play game that Yoda's done, it's good enough that, as long as the intentions are humble, it's a solid thing. On Sunday, I'll be chatting about the stream. On Monday, we'll be having Peter Blencarn, Shem Phillips, Ellie Dix, and myself chatting about publishing. Tuesday, I'll be meeting Hammy Hamilton, who's been involved in retail and publishing and all sorts of things for decades. Playing Wee Whimsical Creatures. I was hoping to do that on Tuesday evening, but I could not find any of my Wee Whimsical Creatures that I'd drawn, which was a bit weird. Wednesday, I'll be game making with Rita and Tiz. Thursday, I'll be marketing with Dina. And, of course, actually, I won't be marketing. I'll be discussing marketing. And next Friday will be a longer Friendly Friday forum. So if you want to jump in, then you can next week. But lots of love to you too. Does anyone have any ideas for a raid? I'm just popping over to Twitch. What is going down? River Dusty. Oh, River Dusty is doing some science and technology. We've got some very popular peeps. Let's raid River Dusty because friend of the show, so please feel free to copy paste some or all of that message. And River Dusty is a friend of the show who pops in occasionally, and we chat on Twitter. And Workday, Blood, Sweat, and CSS. So that might be something to have on in the background. For now, there's only one thing left to do. There's only one thing left to do. And that one thing left is, of course, to sing bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go to goodbye, bye, bye, bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Lots of love. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.